Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Platabla. Today, we are talking about the 5 strongest characters. And this time, I'm not talking from an early game perspective or even a mid game perspective. This is post game. I beat the game. I got 100 plus characters. I unlocked the endless mode of the Heroes Trial. So I went through all the Heroes Trials initially, and I've started doing the endless mode. So that is the context that this is coming from. This is going to be the strongest end game characters. And I'll kind of talk about their build a little bit. Also, I don't have literally every character. I know I haven't 100% completed the game yet. I'm still working on it. Some of them are locked behind mini games. I'm probably not going to unlock every character if I'm being completely honest with you. I've completed nearly all the content in the game, and I don't have fun with the mini games, and it's not fun to play games when you're not having fun. But out of all the characters I have, these are the best. I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 left that are powerful, but I think we got a pretty good team here. So first and foremost, number 5 on the list, Yume. Yume is so... I'm just kidding. I think she still sucks. There's a lot of people that think she's better than she is, in my opinion. I still think she's terrible. She's on here as a meme. But in a similar vein, I actually think Chandra is probably one of the strongest characters in the game. And they have a lot of similarities. Now, if I'm being fair, I actually don't think Yume is that bad. In the late game, once she's scaled up, she is very, very viable and is actually a good unit. I don't think she's top 5. I think Chandra is just scraping the 5th slot, basically. And Chandra is just better than Yume in pretty much every single way. More HP, more attack, more defense, more magic defense, more agility. More luck for what it's worth, and is tied in that. Way less magic, but that doesn't really matter, and way less MP, and I don't really care about that. Also, Chandra's runes are slightly better. So basically, Yume is just like Chandra at home, in a lot of ways, right? So Chandra's pretty good. Why is this character good? So this is actually tied. Chandra is tied with the highest attack in the game. The only other character that has a 498 base attack, I took all the runes and equipment off all the characters so you could see, is Yugo. Yugo? I don't remember how he said it. It's been a long time since he was in a cutscene. His attack, although it's as high as Chandra's still does way more damage because of the high Dragon Claw having a 120 attack weapon, basically. So even though it looks like their damages would be the same, Chandra's is quite a bit higher. One of the strongest auto attackers in the game, flat out. And honestly, defensive-wise, very, very powerful, very, very fast. And if I'm being real, the rune of Heat Breath is pretty good also. And Chandra has pretty good runes overall. Let's go take a look. I actually might do the rest of the video in this section here so we could take a look at the runes, as that is pretty darn relevant in a lot of regards here. So you can see they have a 4, in all types here, a 3-type passive here. So you could easily equip the passive 4% strength per SP, 4% strength per SP. In the very late game, passive runes suddenly become the very best of all the rune types by far, and skills remain the worst like they have been the whole game. So they have one bad rune slot here where it's a skill, but everything else is actually really good. So that's why Chandra is at number 5. Number 4 is Reyna. And Reyna is just, I want to be in this screen because this screen lets me compare the stats, which is really important. We'll have to go back and forth, I suppose. It's just the way the game is. Let's equip air here. Let's equip air here. Goodness me. No, not really. So, just look at her stats. 498 physical defense, 451 magic defense, 933 HP. Like, she's on par with Chandra, who is a 2-slot unit. And her defensive ability is to counter. She's got some pretty decent runes for defensive stuff. But if you look at, like, pretty much every other character, like, she just blows the defenses out of the water. Almost no one, and I mean, when I say almost, I mean, I think literally no one beats her in almost anything. Like, there might be 1 or 2 characters that have, like, this guy is, nope, not even more physical. There might be someone that has, like, more magic defense, maybe. There might be one that has it, right? They tie. They have beat them by 1. Or they might tie physical defense, but they basically have the highest defensive stat of each stat in the game. So they have the highest, they're highest or tied for highest with HP, highest or tied for highest for physical defense, highest or tied for the highest for magic defense. And it's all on one character with an ability to cover. Just a beefy beefcake, really. It just helps keep your team alive. Now, maybe you don't value tanking that much. I didn't really use this character a lot for damage dealing, but honestly, just keeping characters alive, you don't need that much damage dealers because of how much damage the damage dealers do. You mostly want to make sure everyone just survives until you can get your heals off and your main damage off. So I found the really, really tankiness of Reyna to be absolutely vital to the team. All right, number 3 is Euferis. So honorable mention here to my boy who's almost the best character in the entire game up until you beat the game pretty much, Yusuke. He does fall off as you get your characters to level 99. You can see his stats just kind of fall off a cliff. Like, he gets so much stat growth in the early game, and then it just kind of plummets, right? So he has way less attack, way less physical defense with the ability to wear worse armor, way less magic defense, way less HP. And he's not really getting that he's not getting anything else for it. He's a little bit faster, but Euferis is basically just a big boy damage dealer. He's like the strongest physical attack damage dealer in the game because charge up, no matter how late you get into the game, is insane. It's super insane in the early game, and in the post game, it's still very, very strong. It's a little bit less strong when you got to kill waves of enemies because you don't want the combat to last that long. But against bosses, still, like, it's easy for this character to do 3,000 damage or 2,000 in an attack, 4,000 to 6,000 over the course of a combat, while being pretty much an ungodly tank at the same time. Charge up is insanely powerful. Rune of Jaw Crush is pretty good. I will say Rune of Tenacity is nice on Yusuke, but it's just not, like, he just takes so much more damage in the post game that it's not really viable. But Euferis, even though characters like Eiyuden have more attack and on paper should do more damage, because of the charge up, it just doesn't end up working out that way. Charge up is very powerful. You could make a case for Chandra doing just straight up more damage, but Chandra does get a point taken off for being 2 slots, but that's why they still made it on the list, is because they are just powerful. But if you come here, like, Chandra also has better runes, so Chandra is probably going to be doing more damage and be even tankier. But Euferis has the charge up, so it allows him to play defensively and then get in for big bursts of damage. And he only takes up 1 slot, so it leaves more room in your team to do what you want. So that is number 3. Now, the second best character in the game. We've come a long way, all right? I want you to understand that. We've come a long way. It's actually a tie. It's Francesca is the second best character in the game. And her life of crime partner here, where are they at? Forward and Francesca are tied for the best character in the game. And here's the thing. It has nothing to do with their stats. Their stats are good, all right? You can see Francesca actually ends up gets like, her HP surpasses about half the characters in the game by the end of the game, right? So she actually ends up with like an average to maybe slightly above average HP at level 99. So she kind of makes up for that in a lot. Her defenses aren't good. Her magic defenses aren't good. Forward, kind of in the same boat. Defenses are better. Magic defense is great, actually. Magic damage is fine. 452 is very good. It's very strong. They've got very strong MPs. Their HPs are good. Their stats are fine, but they're kind of like, they're not enough to set them apart from the main pack. It is 100%, we all know it, it's that fucking hero power, man. Let's go to the status. All right, it's this fucking hero power. Light and dark heal combo. Restore moderate HP to all allies and boost attack power for 3 turns. Moderate HP is bullshit. They're fucking lying. This is like, I have 544 HP. It heals like 700, right? It heals everyone to full every single time, always, without fail. And it boosts them all, and it can be used every couple turns. You could even put on like runes that'll give them, I think it's in the enhanced rune. You can make it so they start with more SP, or there's an accessory that lets them generate more SP, like 2 SP a turn or something, and you can basically make this happen all the time. I mean, this is the single best skill in the entire game, honestly. It's not even close. There's not a second skill that I think is as good. No damage dealing ability is as powerful as this. This is a full AoE heal, full AoE damage up, 0 MP, every couple turns. The only downside is Francesca's really slow, but that doesn't matter because forward is so fast that if you use the hero combo, they'll actually usually go before all your characters, so they'll heal them all and buff them. Just the second best character in the game. And to be fair, even in the early game, once you get that 100 SP, once you get a 100 SP like accessory to give Francesca 100 extra SP and you get forward, they become pretty much the best characters in the game for almost the whole playthrough. You do need to give her the extra HP, and you do need to give her a passive or an enhancement or something to give her more HP. But then once she's out of that super incredibly bad early game HP, I mean, this hero combo is just, it's honestly kind of like meta warping, game warping, however you want to think. I actually think it's just straight up the single best ability in the game. Now, the strongest character, you've probably seen it in my comments, you've seen it in other people's comments, you've seen other people talk about it if you're following content on this game. And I actually, like, I got to this character before I heard all the people talking about it because I was leveling everyone up, right? But then I was like, oh my god, do people know about this? Everyone already knew about it. The most powerful character in the game is Momo. He is absolutely busted. And he might be one of the squishier characters in the game, and it just doesn't matter because his damage is so high. One, he has one of the craziest magic stats. It's actually probably 452. I have all my runes on him right now. Let's see. When I take them all off, let's take a look here. His runes are very important, which is why we want to also come here anyway. So let's just take this off, this off. We'll just take all these off. Take all these off. So 487. Do you have any equipment on? Even with the equipment off, because that just gives them extra experience. 487. The highest, almost. the highest base magic stat in the game. But this is what's so important. You're like, okay, this character has more HP, has more magic. They have more defensive stats. Why is this character not better? Well, one, they have less MP. But why Momo is so good is actually not a secret. Momo is not the best character in the game for most of the game. But once you unlock this final rune here, Rune of the Magical Font. This is the most insane rune in the game. Hands down. Momo's exclusive rune increases magic and magic defense both by 6% per remaining SP. So you know that really, really insane rune that is so it like we've talked about it before, but like one of the worst runes in the game is the 2% per SP, right? You get like 2% magic or strength per SP. That's bad because at 5 SP you get 10%, and you just can very easily get runes that give you 10%. It's not that they're trash, it's that they're just strictly something better that's more efficient. Once you get to the 4%, they become pretty much the best runes in the game. That means once you get to 3 SP, you're at 12%, and it goes up to 20% bonus attack at 5 SP, which is insane. The 6% means it's 30% bonus magic damage at 5 SP. If you combine that with getting the fucking high magic 4%, and then let's just say we come over here and we give Momo another 4%. This is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% bonus magic damage at 5 SP. You could also probably find a way to give him more SP early on, but you don't really need to. I would just do like a rune of high magic like this, right? And then give him some really, really powerful magic spell. Rune of Conflagration is perfect. And then again, you have another enhancement here. Do another rune of high magic. There you go. You got this absolutely crazy magic stat with absolutely crazy MP, but you don't even need to use the MP. The auto attacks on Momo are insane. Momo just does so much damage. I mean, Momo's hitting for like, you can have Momo hit for like 1,000 damage per auto attack. In the late game against super bosses, like endless mode dungeons, level 99 stuff. I'm sure if you go into the early game, you could hit even more than that, right? But like, this is the highest health and defense enemies in the game, hitting for 1,000. No problem. No one else is doing that. And it's all because of that rune, honestly. Like, I do think Milana here might have a chance with certain things, but her runes are bad. Too many magic runes. You don't need this many magic runes. You don't need that much selection of magic all the time. Having one magic rune is all you need. And now I'll admit Momo has two, but the second one you don't even need. If this one was another passive slot to let you increase your magic even more, Momo would be even better. So the fact that they only have two magic slots is actually still better. But I mean, a lot of people know it. Momo's actually insane. Now Momo does have the like hero combo. If we take a look, Momo's in my party, right? I can go bup, 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 bup. I hate this menu so much, honestly. So they have the magical hero combo, the hero combo, the complete mage combo. I think the magical hero combo, these are all pretty bad. You don't want to really use any of these. Almost all hero combos are bad. This is probably going to do less damage than Momo just by himself. But, man, honestly, if you're not using Momo, you should be using Momo. At least once Momo gets to the certain, like, once they get to the right level. Once they get, I think it might be level 60. It might be kind of late, but Momo instantly becomes, like, the best character in the game, hands down. It's just so much damage. If you have Momo and you have Francesca and Forward in your team, you basically don't need anything else ever. You just need, like, Reina in the front to tank it, or even just a Chandra and Reina in the front just to tank. And then Francesca, Forward, and Momo, these two will keep your team alive and buffed. These two will just refuse to die, and Momo will just fucking kill everything. Especially if you don't have the double MP cost like I do. Like, I only get, like, 3 casts, but still, like, Momo could do, like, 4,000 damage over 2 turns, you know, like, with spells, or, you know, over, like, 1,500 damage per turn with spells until you run out of mana. So, absolutely busted. But yeah, those are the 5 best characters. They're all pretty different from initial. And I actually, for me, Chandra was a surprise because I don't like to size characters, like large characters, but I do think the really high defensive stats and the really high HP, and honestly, the physical attack goes further. There is like a little thing when you take 2 slots, it's actually like, sometimes they'll do like area attacks. I feel like Chandra is twice as likely to be targeted because they'll get targeted whether they randomly select the middle slot or the front left slot. So I feel like Chandra gets hit more. But also sometimes they do like these row attacks, you know, and if they target the middle row, it'll only hit 1 character instead of hitting 2 characters. That's a little bit of a nice thing as well. But yeah, that's my top 5. Let me know where you agree, where you disagree. I'm sure like Noah's sister is insane. She's like the very, very final thing you get. So she's probably like a cherry on top, insanely overpowered. I don't have her. I'm probably not going to get her if I'm being honest. You can see that there's still some characters I need to get. Some of them are bugged. Some of them are tied behind mini games. And I just don't want to do the mini game. So I'm sure she's actually insane. That's what I've heard as well. But I'm rambling now. That's all for today, guys. Thank you very much for Platypus. For Plat, I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye!